Hey gatherers, this is Richard with the Hunter-Gatherer Society, out with my faithful companion Dozer. It's a Sunday afternoon in early February. It's about 80 degrees, relatively low humidity, a slight breeze just to kind of keep it cool. Dozer and I are out taking a look. We're looking for a couple items today. We're looking for some Biden's Alba just to restock my tea supply. We're also looking for peppergrass because I'm completely out of that, and I love that as a, like an herbal seasoning. So we're hoping to find some of that. It's been really dry. We haven't had any real rain in quite some time, and the canals are low. You can see behind me the canal, and you can see it's been mowed. So they mow about 15-20 feet on this side of this canal, and they don't spray anything out here. There's no houses along here, and so there's no worry about that. But the mowing actually makes it so you get new growth on the Bidens, and you can get young fresh leaves, which is really what you want. So we're gonna kind of trek along here, and then we're gonna head back deeper into the woods down the trail a ways and see what we can find. Another thing we'd like to find today is some lemon bokuba to go with the Bidens for the tea. But again, being so dry, we'll see what happens. Anyway, let's hit the trail. You can see along here, there's Bidens. You can see the flower. You can see they've mowed, so you've got all this young growth that's coming up that hasn't flowered yet. That's what we want. We want it before it flowers. So there's just a ton of that in here, and this is the perfect time to get it. There's a nice one. This one has started to flower, but you can see along the edge, that's some brand new growth there. A tiny little butterfly. Oh, there he goes. Didn't want to be on camera. There's more just starting to flower here. But again, you can see here on the tips that new growth coming up. That's what we want. That's the best. Not seeing any peppergrass. There's one little. Well, here's what we're after, guys. So this is poor man's peppergrass. I think it's called Virginia peppergrass as well. I just call it peppergrass. This is an awesome, awesome find. You can tell by the little narrow leaves. And you got these little flower areas up top. And that's the peppery part that we want. Looking around, I don't see anything else. Oh, there's one over there by Dozer. There's a big one, actually. Doze, no. That one is actually flowering. It's starting to open up. And that is all that I see here. I'm going to harvest a little bit of that. I'm not going to take a whole bunch, but we'll harvest some of it and kind of move on. All right, guys. So that That's what we're after, just that little end right there. This is a small one. The other ones I harvested were bigger. I didn't take a whole lot. Again, I want them to flower out, make more. So, spicy. Burn the tip of your tongue just a hair. That's how you know for sure. Pepper grass. It tastes like pepper. All right, I'm gonna get some of this Biden's and we'll get back on the trail. Just picking those tips, the new growth, right there. That's all I want. The rest of it we'll leave and let it grow up larger, but that's going to be the least bitter part. But you can see quickly, it doesn't take long to add up. You're gonna get my truck all wet. Yeah, you don't care, do you? That feel good? Go swim. Go get a drink. Ooh, yeah. All right, let's go. He does love that. Now there are some gators in this canal. Every once in a while you'll see one, not very often. More down towards the other end down there. I haven't seen them down this area, but I'm sure they're probably here. So you got to really, really watch the canal, and you only let them in for a few seconds, because if there is one around here and they figure out he's in the water, you'll see him start coming. But a few seconds, keep your eye on the water. That's just fine. Right, bud? And then you got happy dog. All right, let's keep trekking. Well guys, we've moved down here along this road, and our trail is too wet to hike today, so we're gonna have to alter our plans. But the water, you can see that the water used to be up on the road. In some places it still is a little bit. When it's the wettest, this road is actually underwater. So with the water receding, I thought it might be a good time to look for lemon bokuba. Lemon Bokuba likes its feet wet, but when it's easy to harvest as that water recedes and starts to grow, and then it'll go into kind of a flowering form. Let's see any here. Ah, here we go. This is what we're after. So this is interesting. So like there's none in here, none in there. There's one patch right here. It's not big. It looks like it's just coming up. But we're going to take some of this. So that's our lemon bokuba. Wonderful tea. That's all I see here. We'll probably take a little bit of this and then hike up a little further and see what we can find. Of course, the problem here is I can't kneel down because the ground's so wet. And these are not the best. You can only take the tips of these, very tips. That's the green part. The rest is kind of brown because, again, I think they were probably underwater and they're just coming up. But man, I'll tell you what, you can't mistake that menthol smell. They say it smells like lemon or lime. I don't think so. I think it smells like menthol or eucalyptus or something. It's a great smell, but again, this is just used for a tea. We won't beat up this patch too much. It's pretty small. It's kind of interesting, guys. Look at this here. It's kind of interesting. This is all pennywort here. All dollarweed. Look on this little hill here. So look how small it is. So I almost get the feeling we're just a bit early yet, maybe a week or so. It's all along here, but it's, you know, tight to the ground. It's just, looks like it's just coming up, and that's kind of the lemon bokuba. I only found a little bit. Enough for a couple mugs of tea, but not a lot. And that seems to be consistent through here. So it looks like we might want to return in maybe another week or so. Now as we get down here where it's a little drier, I'm seeing a little bit bigger dollarweed, but man, not much. Tell you what I want to do is I want to come back here at night. I see apple snail shells all over the place. I bet if a person came here at night, I bet you'd find a ton of them. Might be worth it. Might have to try that one of these times. Well, I'm gonna keep looking. Alright guys, I'm going to give this thing a try. No guarantees though. I haven't done any bow hunting in my lifetime. I've only shot this a few times. I have taken a fish with it, but blind luck in close quarters. So we're just going to mess around today and see if I can't hit something. Come here, Doze. Doze, come here. Come here. Go lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Stay. Definitely want him under control while doing things. Yeah, not even close. Which is why we got to practice. Today I got a little bit of dollarweed and a little bit of Biden's Elba, enough, you know, lemon bokuba for a couple cups of tea. And today is just kind of about, you know, scouting, seeing what's out and about. I've already learned that I'm about 2 weeks early on the dollarweed. a couple weeks from now, that'll be in here thick, and I can harvest some of that. I like using that for green juices, salads, smoothies, things like that. It's a great plant. Interesting thing about that plant, the dollarweed actually is a plant that breaks down heavy metals. So kind of a useful plant. Most people consider it a weed and try to get rid of it, but it's actually not only nutritious, but useful. So, and then just kind of hanging out in the woods, enjoying the day. So good opportunity to get out and let him get out. Then he's not depressed all the time. So, plus I got to dry off the sheet that he sits on because he got wet from swimming. So we're going to play around here and see if I can't hit maybe at least the broad side of a barn, and then we'll probably go look for some more places to forage around. Stay. Oh, and he scores. I can't believe it. First hit of the day. You know, even a blind squirrel finds a nut now and again. Did Daddy get it? Daddy get it? Let's see. Oh, just nicked it. If that was a rabbit, it wouldn't be very successful. So let's see. The target was like that. So I just caught the corner of it. But, you know, by God, I'll take it. I'll take it. All right, keep practicing. Oh, so close. Okay. Too high. Come on, bud. Too high. Too high again. There's a nick. We're getting closer. 2 nicks. We'll take it. Lay down. Ooh, there's a hit. Closer, closer. Nope. Too far to the right. Too high again. Just a hair too high. Right to the right. Well, not what we were hoping for. But you know what the heck, I hit 2. We'll keep practicing. Just too high. Oh, just to the right. That actually would have been a bullseye had it been right to the right about 6 inches. Too high. Oh, too high. Right, to the left, so that's actually to the right, the other one's to the left. There we go. There, oh, that hit the target, boys and girls, and that's it. That one actually hit the target. Let's go check that out. I tell you what, I need a lot of practice. Oh, it didn't. Jeez, dang it. Just a little bit to the right of the target. But got 2 on there. See, the rest were all pretty consistently shot, just that they were too high. So, yeah, we'll keep working on it. Oh, just a hair too high. I've got the target turned sideways now, so I got even less of an area to hit. I'm still shooting just a hair high. There it is. Too high. Too high. There's another one. Ah, get back here. Oh, right underneath it. Right underneath it. Well, we hit a couple of them. So we're not getting close to that target, but we did hit it twice. And that was the shallow end, so that was all right. Hey, these suckers really get buried down in there when you get that angle on them. I thought I heard, maybe not. I thought one went, oh yeah, there it is. I knew one went farther this way. They're hard to see, boy, once they're down on the ground. That's 3, 6, 8. That's what we got. All right. Cool. All right, I'm going to collect these and get back to it. I tried to get that thing down close to the size of a rabbit. Body-wise, probably a little bit bigger even. But, you know, beginning, so I'm just starting, so I didn't want to get it too small. But if I can get it into this target area at some point down the road, then I should be fine. But here, hitting this way, this would be more consistent maybe with a rabbit's body area. So if I can hit that, but we're going to stay with the broadside until I can consistently hit it, which obviously is not now. So, back to it. Ooh, way off. Short. Man, right to it. Bottom of it. Ah, too high. A little too high, see? Underneath it. Oh, I can't find that middle ground. Ah, same top shot. What we are learning here, folks, is Robin Hood. I am not. Oh, just nicked the target on that. Oh, just over the top, Doze. Way over the top, Doze. top. God's sakes. Well, we ain't hitting the target yet, but by God, we're getting closer. Too low, bud. Skip that one. Too high. Stay. Well, that one. 1, 2, 3. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 9. Not bad. Well, that's an interesting piece of art there, huh? So 7 out of 9 on that round. Not bad. So again, this is self-taught. I've never fired a bow before. Again, I fired that a couple times in the water at fish, not very effectively. I did take one, what was it, catfish. But other than that, this is all just kind of learning from my mistakes. So I noticed I was shooting really high. Also, I was drawing the string back out here, so I tried to bring it tight into my cheek and then, you know, follow the arrow line and then drop that down. That seemed to really help. Now, it took several rounds before this is the case. I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. You know, as I get, you know, I've probably fired this thing a dozen times, well, 10, 20, probably 35, 40 times. So you start getting a little bit tired, and that's going to affect your accuracy. So for today, I'm going to take 7 out of 9 as a win. And but that's a lot of fun, man. It's just, that's cheap entertainment. It's an absolutely gorgeous day. It's about 83 degrees. The sun is shining. There's just a slight breeze. The birds are singing. We did some wild foraging. Did some archery. Man, I don't get any better than that. So other than the cost of gas, I got nothing into this day, and I'll get quite a bit out of it. So awesome. Let's get back on the trail. Well, time to hydrate him. Oh, right, bud? A little hydration. There you go. A little hydration for Dad. Well, I'm checking out this trail. So about a year ago, I put a video out, kind of hiking and foraging here, and found a few different things on that trip. And it was actually a little earlier than this, and I was able to hike this trail. It's blocked off, and it doesn't look like there's a trail here, but actually there is. Once you get through the higher weeds, it opens up, and there's a real nice trail that runs way back in there. Don't even know where it goes. Truthfully, I've never hiked it all the way out. And I walked in a little ways, and it's all underwater. So the trail over here that I usually do is underwater. This trail is underwater. It's not completely underwater, so it looks like, just kind of like the vegetation. I'm about 2 weeks, probably 3 weeks maybe, from being able to get on these trails and do some good hiking. So the trail, you know, that everybody else hikes, which is just up the road a bit, there must have been 50 cars there. So, and I saw a crowd of, I bet, 30 people coming out of there, and they were coming and going. So that is not a place that I want to be. The only time I do that is if I'm going to do the long haul, because most people only go in a couple miles. So I checked out the water around here. There's nothing really in here, and with the trails being underwater, I think Dozer and I are going to call it a day. But, you know, we've got, like I said, we got some Biden's Alba and some lemon bokuba for tea. I'll mix that in with the mullein. It'll make a really nice green tea. And then, you know, we got some target shooting in today. That was the first real time that I've taken the bow out and done some real practicing. I want to do that more and more. I want to get better at it. I do want to get back into hunting again. You know, I haven't hunted for some time, really since Minnesota. And I hunted a little bit in Alaska for grouse, but, you know, I just really haven't done much of that, mostly foraging and fishing. And so I'm thought about maybe some small game or hog here in Florida. We'll see. That's a ways off yet. I've got to get better with that bow and more consistent and farther away than the 20 feet I was, or 30 or whatever it was. So I got to get it out there where I can actually hit something at a distance and with some power behind it. But it's a lot of fun. So this was again just a getting out of the house, getting out in the woods. Like I said, the birds are singing. Beautiful day. So I'm glad you guys joined for this one. And like I said, it's a little short. No day camping, no kayaking, no fishing. I did a little fishing, but didn't catch anything. There's a bunch of guys fishing that spot right now, and they don't seem to be catching anything either. So I don't think they're in there yet. The Mayans will spawn in there. Or I'm sorry, the Oscars will spawn in there at some point, but I think it's still a little too early yet. So, because again, we're in 1st of February. You know, it's, what is it, the 4th of February today. So we're early February. So up north, Minnesota, Montana, you know, a lot of those areas are 20, 30 below zero right now at night. So it's dead winter. So down here, you don't really, you know, you don't have that. It's 81 degrees, but you know, everything still changes with the winter. You don't have the flowering, you don't have the fruiting. It does go through, you know, got cool nights, so it does go through those changes. So we harvest what we can, and just the important thing is just getting outside and having a little fun. So thanks again for joining, and I'll see you next time, and hopefully Dozer and I are out doing something wild. All right, guys. Some of you guys stuck around. Awesome. So we are back at home. It was a great afternoon in the woods. It wasn't out there that long, just a couple hours, but man, we got a lot done. Did a little bit of fishing, a little bit of foraging, did a lot of target shooting, and ended up finishing on a high note there and got some good shots in. So it really, all in all, it was a great couple hours in the afternoon to get out in the woods. Listen, I'm telling you guys, just get out in the woods, do something, even if it's for 2 hours. Take a walk, target shoot, play ball with the dog, sit on the edge of a bank and fish. Doesn't matter if you catch anything. I've been known to fish without bait before. You know, sometimes you put bait on, that means you got to work and reel fish in. So bring a beer, bring a glass of wine, bring your camp stove, make a little lunch, bring your hammock, take a siesta. Doesn't matter, just get out and do it. So today, just a couple hours, had a great time. Now we get to reap the benefits of our harvest. So I'm gonna make a green tea. So I'm gonna get a couple things together, then we'll get to work. Again, not a massive foraging day, but I actually did come out with enough stuff for probably a few batches of tea. Got home, cleaned up, went for a happy hour. Got to do that. Sunday afternoon, why not? And so this is the Biden's Alba and the lemon bokuba. Got to wash it out. I always want to wash everything you forage. Then you want to dry your bags out so you don't get any mold or anything in there, because you do get some moisture from them. Now again, I was harvesting just the tips of those Bidens, all that new growth, and when I held the camera up close, I think you could see the color difference in it. They were lighter, kind of a yellowish in color. And that is the best. Anytime you have a plant, the newer greens are the best. All right. That ought to do it. We want to mix it up. So I want to get that lemon bokuba kind of mixed in there, so we have kind of a mix of each. All right, let me get my teapot, then I'll be back. Okay, teapot. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add the greens right down on the bottom of the teapot. That should be enough. Ample supply. The other thing I want to add is the mullein. Now that I'm actually going to add, because it's chopped very finely, I'm going to add that in to the little strainer. I'm going to do a teaspoon or a tablespoon and a half probably. Put that in. Mullein, good for the lungs. All right, now we need water. All right. Okay. Now we're going to let that steep for about 10 minutes. Keep my little lid on there. Sure looks nice. All right, 10 minutes. First things first, that's the remaining tea mixture. Now I can use this fresh, or I can put it on the dehydrator. There's not really a lot of it, so it'll keep in the refrigerator for a couple days. So I might just use this, you know, just use it fresh. I can also use the Bidens in some of my cooking. So either way, I'll probably use it up in, you know, in a couple days. So you can do either one, dry it out in a dehydrator or just keep it fresh in the refrigerator, but you definitely want to kind of dry it out first. Get some of that major moisture off of there. Now the tea is looking real nice. It makes a nice green tea. And we should have a little sweetener. I think we'll have some organic blue agave. Sounds nice, right? Just a teeny tiny bit. So there we go. Green tea, foraged today, well, obviously except for the mullein, but super, super healthy, super good. And that'll make that little pot there, it makes about 1.5 cups, so it's about perfect for the evening. I've got some video to edit, so got a cup of tea, video to be edited. For those of you that stuck around, I appreciate it, and have a great night, and we'll see you out in the woods.